Speaking of guys who rush for 2,000 yards, there's a new OJ documentary on Netflix, and it's outstanding.
I saw the first episode. I watched it.
I'll watch.
There's so much I forgot.
They could make a new one every year for the rest of time, and I will watch each one. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. We love getting out to live events, whether it's a concert, football game, or comedy show, and we always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time, and now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I was looking tonight. I believe I'm going to go to the Blackhawks against the Edmonton Oilers to see Arian's favorite guy, Connor McDavid. On Game Time right now, I can get into the game for just $18 using the Game Time Picks feature. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to go buy those Blackhawks tickets now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code MACRO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code MACRO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
What's poppin', Macrodosians? Hey, man. Shout out to all the Macrodosians out there, the real ones. I was at an escape room. I was walking in to go to an escape room. Some dude came up to me. It's so funny. I was in Houston, too. Usually in Houston, I get recognized as the football player. But I was paying for to park at this I don't know, parking place. Going into an escape room and so dude goes, Arian? I'm like, yeah, what's going on, bro? He said, man, I'm a Macrodosian, big Macrodosian. I said, appreciate it, dog. Appreciate it. So it's love out there. Shout out to the Macrodosians, man, holding it down since day one.
What percentage of people say that to you now as opposed to football?
Honestly, it's about, I'd say a good 70-30.
Which with football 70?
Yeah, football, obviously.
See,
more,
I think even that it's 30% is
it's
pretty
a lot.
remarkable.
I get a lot of people come to me saying Macrodosians, bro. It's like I've had this happen to me several times. People roll up and be like, I'm listening to the pod right now, man. I'm like, that's actually
I've gotten
crazy.
that a couple times.
Very serendipitous Macrodosians out here, man. I love it.
One
it's
guy
dope,
in New York just like kind of walked up behind me and like put his phone in front of me, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I looked and he was listening to it. I was
that's
like, oh,
dope.
Nice.
I was like, oh, nice. What's up, man? It is Thursday, February 6th, 2025. Damn, I'm getting old as fuck. 2025. Like when I think about that shit. I used to say like, yo, back in the 20s, the roaring 20s. That's a thing, right? It's now the 20s, 100 years from the roaring 20s. That's crazy, right? To me, it is. I don't know.
I heard somebody talking about 2017 the other day, and I was like, yeah, 2017 was just a few years ago. It was 8 years ago.
A couple years back. You know, I retired. In 1 year, I'll be retired 10 years from the National Football League. Time is a motherfucker, ain't it? Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, anyway, happy Thursday, y'all. It's Super Bowl holiday weekend. Hope everybody's prepping, getting their whatever snacks ready. Your party orders all sorted out because
Getting a cookie cake.
Hey, sometimes like you gotta get that shit right because if you do the Super Bowl party, you gotta make sure you have somebody with a stable connection and a good TV.
Do you do parties?
You ever went to like a Super Bowl party and you like, man, this shit weak.
Oh, I don't go to. I would never go to a Super Bowl party.
What?
It's people who don't care about what's going on.
But it's not like the Falcons are in the Super Bowl. Why do you care?
Well, first of all, I've responsibly placed several wagers on DraftKings Sportsbook that I care about a lot. Secondly, it's just like it's people who they don't give a shit. They're not watching the game. They're talking. They're yelling. There's music playing. And then they're like, oh, I can't wait for the commercials. Like, it's not
weak.
Yeah, it's not the environment I need to be in to watch the Super Bowl. Now, I've had gripes with the Super Bowl forever anyway, that it's so much of a spectacle that it's barely about the game to begin with. But
it's a holiday. It's a holiday. 100%.
Right. And that's because to make it have mass appeal. But a Super Bowl party is not the place for Big T.
You just had the wrong ones. Like I'm hosting one. That's not literally a party. All the family and friends is getting together. But like we come from a football family. Like my dad played, my brother played. Obviously, I played, and like we used to have bowl games. Bowl games used to mean something. Back when I was growing up, we had a tradition. Like every January 1 bowl game, my mom would make a big pot of green chili stew, and we would sit around and watch bowl games all day. And we would do that day in and day out.
The good old days.
It was to the bowl season was up. So like Super Bowl is a thing. Like we watch the games. Like my mom could tell you what cover 2 is. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like cover 3. I don't know if she knows cover 3, but definitely cover 2. She knows what cover 2 is.
I mean, if you know 2, you can figure out 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a concept easily explained, right? But our Super Bowl parties, like we watch, and the commercials used to be lit.
They've gone downhill tremendously.
It's bad, man.
And now they put them all out. Like half of them are out already. Like
really?
I think the Shane Gillis, Peyton Manning, Bud Light thing is going to be their Super Bowl commercial. The Uber Eats like McConaughey thing.
Yeah.
And they put them out online before.
That's disappointing. But
or they do like the teaser for the commercial.
Right.
Which is so stupid.
The boys
back in my day, you would wait till the Super Bowl and then you would be surprised with the funny commercials.
Yeah.
Now they're not even funny and they don't come out in the Super Bowl.
It's just like, what is the biggest celebrity that you can get?
Right.
Yeah. They're playing with me right now. Someone, I don't know who, is doing a Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, When Harry Met Sally thing. Like, we're reuniting for something iconic, and it's going to be some dumb Super Bowl ad. And
I feel like Billy Crystal is in a Super Bowl commercial every year, and that's the only place I see him.
I mean, he's like an older gentleman and also a very notable, iconic American figure.
Definitely.
I feel like he's just like someone who you want around in the Super Bowl commercial.
I never hear from him, and then he pops up in a Super Bowl commercial every year.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing much like active act.
10
anymore.
voices of all time?
God, yeah. What a good guy.
Yeah, I'm not talking about singing voices, obviously. I'm talking about like just
right, yeah.
Feels good tonally. Like when he talks, I listen kind of voice. Like like obviously you got like Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones, like top of the list, right? And then from there, like I think I would say like, yeah, Billy Crystal got like a top 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I've never considered my favorite speaking voices.
Oh, I've always James Earl Jones, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's probably number 1. Yeah, I would say Morgan Freeman. I mean, he's like the quintessential what you would want to narrate anything.
Yeah.
You can make anything sound good.
Who's the British nature guy?
Yeah.
David Attenborough.
Yeah. Yeah. Him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to think of another one.
McConaughey's voice, I guess I enjoy listening to.
Yeah, he does have that deep, like raspy. Okay, here's one that you probably don't know, but is absolutely an iconic voice. Bun B. Bun B, the sound of his voice is so I could listen to him talk all day, dog. It's amazing. Pete Bun B. And I ain't talking about him rapping, just listen to him talk. I love that dude's voice.
Okay.
Bun B's cold. But yeah, talking it's a lost art, man. No, it's not. Everybody talks nowadays.
People forget Billy Crystal, Mike Wazowski.
Really?
Nobody forgets that. Nobody forgets that.
I did. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
What? Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, no. I
guess I never thought about it.
If you had a gun to my head and said who was the voice of Mike Wazowski, it would have gone off.
That's crazy. Well, I thought that was just like, yo.
Who's Sully?
Sully.
John Goodman, isn't it?
It's John Goodman.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. I never would have known.
That's crazy.
John Goodman and Billy Crystal.
Wow, what a cast!
Wait, let's look who else is in Monsters.
I've never looked into it. I guess.
Who's the Roz?
Mike
Wazowski.
I don't know any more notable ones, but I knew those two.
Roz played by a man.
I mean that checks out. Who's Randall?
I forget.
Why is it so hard to find these people?
You can just go to IMDb and it shows cast.
I'm looking at it right now. Oh, shut up. Steve Buscemi.
You know, yeah, I see that now.
I don't even know.
Wow, what a cast.
Hold on, Steve Buscemi.
You know Steve Buscemi.
Crazy Eyes from Mr. Deeds.
Oh, yeah. He kind of looked like
Randall.
Yeah, he
Randall.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see.
Wow.
I'm checking out the
Yeah.
best voices of all time, like talking.
But I feel like now that you know it's Billy Crystal, you can put it together, Big T.
Yeah.
Like, now
yeah,
you're like,
no,
yeah, that
I
adds
hear
up.
it now.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
He's all right. Yeah. All right. No, this was not Samuel. His is distinguished, but I don't know if it's like the best. Like,
Oh,
oh,
Kiefer Sutherland.
Really?
who?
Kiefer Sutherland, you familiar? Jack Bauer, 24.
Mm-mm,
You've seen him.
probably. I got one for you. Christopher Walken. I love his voice.
See, I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's obviously very unique and it's cool, but like, if you were picking someone to listen to, it would not be Chris Walken for me.
What about Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah.
I like Lawrence Fishburne.
Shout out Boys in the Hood.
You didn't you seen Boys in the Hood?
Many times. It's in my
What?
top. It's in my top 20 probably.
I didn't pin that though.
I love Boys in the Hood.
Wow. Okay.
It's a great movie.
It's one of the best.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. What's your favorite? I mean, what's your favorite part? I mean,
I haven't seen it in so long. Honestly, like I sound like LeBron right now, but I need to watch it again.
Read one page.
I probably haven't seen it in
it's given. It's
10
given.
years. No, I love that movie.
I haven't seen it in a while either, but I can.
I remember distinctly Cuba Gooding Jr. at one point is wearing a Georgia Tech hat, and I remember thinking to myself, "Why is he wearing a Georgia Tech hat in L.A.?"
Oh, I think you said that once, and I was like, ain't no.
It was around the time that like they were really good at basketball, so like maybe that was part of it, like Bobby Crimmins. I don't know, but
it could be a hood hat too. I don't know Georgia Tech's. If there's any Georgia Tech claimed sets out there, it doesn't ring bells.
Is the GT like gangster tribe or something?
I doubt that, but there.
No, you've explained it once though.
Most
The logos.
hats out there are correlated with gangs somehow, some way. There are neutral hats, but I don't recall Georgia Tech being one. It could be. I don't know. I think we talked about it before, but yeah, like Seattle Mariners, for instance. That's Nipsey Hussle used to wear that, right? Rolling 60s. He's a rolling 60 Crip. Snoop, right? Snoop, he's rolling 20s Crip from Long Beach. That's Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a Pittsburgh Steelers hat. And colors. Let me see what else. Houston Astros. That's Schoolboy Q. That's Hoover 52 Hoover Deuce. Let's see. The Game. He's from Cedar Block, Cincinnati Reds hat. I think from where Kendrick from, his neighborhood, Washington Nationals hat, the red W one. There's a bunch, man.
I should probably look into this.
The Yankees hat, the blue Yankees hat's Nutty Block. Nutty Block Compton Crips. I think they're in Compton. Yeah, there's a whole bunch, man. There's a whole bunch of them.
I'm seeing that the Braves hat can be some gang as well, but surely if people they know I'm not, right? Like they.
Yeah.
You're worried about.
There was a really powerful statement that Nipsey Hussle said when he was on this. The reason why I fuck with Nipsey Hussle, his music was cool, of course, but like I loved his mentality. He said some of the realest shit ever. He was saying how when they used to, it kind of dawned on him, like when he was like, when you go out and you go do a mission, like when you go out to go find somebody, he's like, you bypass. He said, this is his words. Paraphrase, but he's like, you bypass the dorky looking dude, you bypass the Asian cat, you bypass the white boy. He said, you looking for you. He said, you looking for somebody that looks like you. And he said, that was a very powerful moment for me, where it's like the carnage in which that we were causing was searching for yourself in other neighborhoods. And it was a very powerful statement. It was really dope.
I can tell you my least favorite part of Boys in the Hood.
Go ahead.
When they shot Ricky.
Ricky! I think that dude died in real life.
Well, I'm sure he has or will.
No, like from gangbanging.
Oh,
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, Ricky. I think. No, not Ricky Purcell. Oops. And Boys in the Hood.
He did get shot.
Let me see.
Ricky
Lloyd.
Pearsall, that is.
Was it him? Yeah. Wait. I don't know. It'll be too much to read right now. But yeah, Boys in the Hood, one of the best movies, one of the best hood movies of all time, man.
Actually, one of my favorite things about Boys in the Hood is not in Boys in the Hood. It's Kevin Hart in the movie Get Hard recounting his fake life story as the story of Boys in the Hood to the family of or to like his daughter or something.
Wait, say that again.
Have you seen the movie Get Hard? It's with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And when he's pretending that he went to prison and he just tells the story of Boys in the Hood, it's very funny. But
your favorite part of Boys in the Hood is in
Kevin Hart recounting Boys in the Hood. Yes,
that tracks. Yeah. So so the dude who killed Ricky in Boys in the Hood, his name is Lloyd Avery. He was murdered in real life in prison by a Satanist over spiritual differences. That's crazy.
They do say don't talk about politics or religion on like a first date. I would say that probably goes double for in prison.
I don't know if I would survive in prison, honestly.
I feel like people would know you though, so maybe like nobody would fuck with you. Also, you're not a small guy.
That you be, like, I put this. People don't like me, dog. I just don't have like a categorical place that I could fit in. Like the cats that I grew up with, like you gotta really know me to like me. Like if you don't know me, the odds are you probably not gonna like me. I've always experienced
you would you try to go along to get along in jail, or you would still be very opinionated?
Oh, it depends, right? Because it's like so.
Because I could see that getting you in trouble.
Yeah, but that's so. I've literally had people come to me and say, "Oh, you're arrogant. I don't like you because you're arrogant." Like when we talk, like, what don't you like about me? You're arrogant, and I would literally not talk. Like I've had people call me arrogant, and I don't say a word. Like when people, this is my belief anyway. When people are like confidence is intimidating, and I don't mean intimidating like you're afraid, but it's just like if you're insecure in yourself and you see somebody who's confident, that can either lead to like, oh, I like that about him, or I dislike that about him. And I don't say it's binary, but that's been my experience. So a lot of people who like didn't like me at first are like, I didn't like you because I just think you're arrogant. I was like, what did I do that was arrogant? I was like, oh, you can never really pin it. Or if I'm extremely opinionated, like on this podcast, right? Like the people I hear comments all the time, you know what I'm saying? Or people tweet me all the time, like, you're arrogant. Like, how? Like arrogance means I think I'm better than somebody else. When have I ever exuded that? It's the exact opposite if you actually know me, right? But I think, especially like in a prison situation, that my quietness would lead to like, who the fuck does he think he is? I've had that happen to me before. Like, oh, you just think you're better than everybody else because I'm not talking to you? That's crazy. It's crazy. I just don't have like a welcoming demeanor. And my biggest problem is I will always give you the energy you give me. Like Big T, if you nice as shit to me, I'm gonna be nice as shit to you. Right? If you talk shit to me, I'm gonna talk shit to you. That's just how I am. Like I will give you the energy you give me. And sometimes that self-defense can be viewed as me starting the shit. But I don't start nothing, man. No, I don't want no problems. I'm a peaceful person.
So but you could foresee yourself in jail getting into some altercations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because a lot of that shit is ego, right? A lot of that shit is ego. And I would, hey, you got it, bro, all day. But there comes a certain time where you would probably have to fight. I'm like, in jail, from my understanding, I did spend a night in jail. I wasn't in like any prison or anything like that. But I got a lot of dudes that have went there. A lot of that shit is like, yeah, you can, and it also depends on where you go too. Like, but if I'm in there is a racial segregation in jail. That's the politics of jail. That just is what it is. And for the most part. I mean, we had two of them dudes on the podcast. You met one of them. He was in it for 10 years, right? The other dude we had, Fridge, right? One of my other homeboys. Like, it's just racially segregated. And so I would have to pick a side. And that's just how the politics of it goes. Now, I would try to remain neutral, but even if you remain neutral, that's picking a side. You know what I mean? It's nowhere where I'm gonna follow all these laws. I don't want to be there. It's not for me.
Two questions about that. One, I also feel like, doesn't it extremely help or hurt your situation? It depends on like what you're in there for.
Yeah.
Like they don't fuck with the pedos.
Nah, you're gonna get your ass beat pretty regularly in there.
But if you're in there for like tax fraud, I feel
you
like they'll leave you alone.
Won't be in. I mean, it like I said,
or like okay,
on where the prison is too. Everything.
But like I feel And then second, this may be an ignorant question. Would it help or hurt you, Arian Foster, if you went into a prison like that and you are not gang affiliated?
It could be both. It could help me for somebody who fucks with me, but it could hurt me on some like
he's not one of us.
Well, no, like he somebody might try to get some stripes off you, right? Somebody try to make a name. Oh, I'm gonna fight him because of who he is. Like that could be a thing too. I mean, that shit happened to me growing up. Like, oh, you think you think you big and bad because you a athlete. I'm like, I don't, bro. But what's up? It's just a different mentality. It's like a little, I don't know. It's a horrible mentality. I don't ever want to be a part of it.
I hope none of you guys are ever in prison.
Me too.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I got cameras in my house, man. If I'm ever accused of anything, I got alibi. Going to be right here in my room playing Valorant. No way I can.
You have them on the inside of your house?
Oh yeah. Not in my room, actually, though. No. That would be weird, actually. That'd be kind of creepy. It's in my living room, and it's like on the outside. It's like where my garage is, my front, my back. I got all the perimeters covered, every angle.
That's how you got that Game of Thrones reaction video that one time.
Yeah. That was way before this podcast.
I don't know
about
that.
You talked about it, and you sent us the video.
It's like on TMZ, I think.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Of course.
I feel like I vaguely remember talking about that, but I don't remember watching it. What was it? Red Wedding?
You had your dog too at the time.
I had a husky.
The husky.
Named Yoko.
Yeah.
I think it was someone dying.
It was when Arya, spoiler alert, it was when Arya sliced the Night King. Wow.
Oh, did you liked that?
All right. Yes. All right. I think we vaguely talked about this, but like I don't think that I could write a season 8 after all of that happened, right? They did a great job with that series. It ended kind of, I understand why people feel it was rushed, but I still feel like it was it's probably the greatest show of all time. And
it was at one point.
I just think y'all be spoiled, man.
I mean, think of how drastic the fall off had to be for like that was, I mean, pretty widely considered, I think, in the running for the best show of all time. And since it ended, like nobody's really talked about it at all.
No, they have, because What's the Cane came out and it was the prequel?
That the first season that was pretty good, and then the second season was bad. I checked out.
So what's the quintessential TV series? What's your top number one? Because I thought that's up there.
No, Game of Thrones is still in the running for me. Like if I could just pretend it ended, I forget what I used to say, but there was a point where I was like, if it would have ended right here, it would have been just perfect. Game of Thrones. That's not my job. I didn't get paid to do that.
That be my problem with people, brother. Like, man, this shit is horrible. Well, how's it supposed to end? Like, I don't know.
Well, that was their job.
But you cannot like.
Well, I'll tell you whose fault it is. It's George R.R. Martin's fault for starting writing these books in the 80s, and then he's like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm still the ending's coming." Like, write the damn book. You know, especially once you knew.
It's spoken from a non-artist.
No, especially once you knew that the TV show had started, and that in 7 years we're going to get to a point where the sidewalk ends, and now what?
See, Mos Def had a great line, right? Mos Def, aka Yasin Bey. He said, I write a rhyme. He said, something, I committed the page. I write a rhyme, sometimes won't finish for days. You cannot rush
It's
art.
been
Inspiration.
decades.
No, that is a metaphor for a dog. What he was talking about was you cannot rush art. Art comes whenever it comes. And he made something as brilliant as these books. And for Big T to sit there with his Atlanta hat and say, write the fucking book,
Listen,
is wild to me.
Totally understand, and agree with your point. It's not rushed. He's had 30 years.
Art comes when it comes.
It's not rushed.
This world has seen billions of years before my man started to write that book, and it was just fine. But when he wrote those books, it meant something. So let him finish whenever he gets his time. Let him finish.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll find out eventually. Who knows?
It's to me. I saw a tweet the other day that perfectly is a perfect summation of this. That when we correlated art with content, we lost our way, and I agree 1,000%. I agree 1,000%. Let that shit come and appreciate it when it's here, because I can't write no shit like that. I just can't do it. It was an amazing story, amazing storyline. I loved it all. I loved it all. The cinematography, the character growth, all of it's amazing. I accept it for what it is, and I appreciate it. I can't get with the Monday morning quarterbacks, especially if they don't have an ending for me. If you give me an ending that's better, I'll listen to it. But I can't give it to me.
I haven't watched it in too long. I'd have to go back but there was just so much stuff that happened in the last season that was so corny, and like I don't even have as much of an issue with like how it ended. The brand thing is stupid, but like holistically, as just like some of the shit that happened in the last season was so like Sam, like he's writing a song of ice and fire. Like, give me a break. Like, it was just so much corny shit. It kind of ruined it. And it was like a breaking the fourth wall thing. Like, just shit like that.
There was definitely, like, they had like Starbucks cups in some of the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
I understand their critique. It's just they're humans.
I understand. And on the whole, that's 1/8 of the show. So what, like 12%? The other 88%, some of the best television that's ever been made. Like, there are scenes in that show that I'm just like, are unbelievable. But the last season didn't live up to that. And part of that was they'd created such a standard that it would have been very difficult to live up to.
That's my point.
But they did it.
It was so dope that I don't think you could end it in a way that made everybody happy. There's
that
no way
is certainly true, but they could have ended it in a way that most people didn't hate also.
I don't know. I think people were so encapsulated with the series that no matter how it ended, people are going to be upset. Because you can't end something like that with any kind of definitive. It was going to have to be an abrupt ending. That's the thing about like really good movies and shows. It has to end. And so in what way do you do that's the hard part about, like, give me a great ending to a movie, like a amazing ending.
A movie or TV show, or it doesn't matter?
Either one.
I think The Office has an incredible ending. I think.
What happened? How did it end? Like, you felt okay, I am okay with this ending.
Yes,
like, I'm
very
good.
much so.
I think that's just a rare occurrence, right? Even if I take your word for it, that's a rare occurrence. Like, one of my favorite shows of all time is Star Trek, The Next Generation, right? And I've watched every single episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation, with Captain Picard and Geordi LaForge and all. I just Worf. I love everything, right? I have not watched the last 3 episodes because I don't want it to end. They're still out there flying around in the stars to me, in my head. In my heart, they're still alive. I have not watched it. And I haven't watched the new one with Picard because that ended the old one. I can't do it. It's just when you're emotionally invested in something, it's really hard to accept its ending.
I don't want to say the ending because I think you would really enjoy this show and I think you should watch it. Have I told you to watch The Good Place before?
Nah, The Good Place. What's this?
Oh, Arian, I think you'd like it.
I think you would really love that show, but the ending to that show is the one that sticks out in my mind as I think one of the best endings I've ever seen. I don't necessarily agree with it philosophically, but like the ending to that show I think is perfect.
Is that with Kristen Bell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And Ted
I
Danson.
never watched that.
It's a philosophy show. I think you'll really like it.
Huh. Yeah, I'm in. I'll definitely check. I'm looking for new shows. I've seen this one that I can't wait for the next season. It has first season. It's I forget what it's called. It's about a lady in a let me look it up real quick. Banter. Hold on. Because this is a really good show.
Hell of a pitch there.
It's about a lady.
While you look for that, I have a story for you. This is a hard pivot, but something occurred in the office yesterday that we have to talk about.
Okay, hold on. Before you do, here it is.
Okay.
All right. It's called Nobody Wants on Netflix. And it's
Nobody
about
wants
Nobody
this?
wants this.
Nobody Wants This. Yeah, my fault.
So
Nobody
good.
Wants
So
Did
good.
we not
Seen
talk
it?
about? I feel like we talked.
Oh, we've
about
all
it.
seen it.
Oh, I've seen it like 5 times
It's-
over already.
Is that
So
not an
good.
amazing show? though?
It's so
Arian.
good.
So
Arian,
the woman in
Love
that
that
show,
show.
Kristen Bell, is the main character in The Good Place.
Oh yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at that. More serendipity. Love it. That is
Nobody
an
Wants
amazing-
This is so good.
It's so well written. Like it's well and
Yes.
it's fucking funny, dog.
Yes.
The acting
really
is so
good.
God,
really
Adam
good
Brody. Yeah. Good
Uh,
show.
It left me hanging though.
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, I gotta.
I can't wait for the
I
next season.
cannot wait for the next season.
Yeah.
You know what I love about that show, Arian? Is that every time that there's like an issue in their relationship, they just bring it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't become a plot point of like, oh my God, I'm lying to so and so. They're just gonna talk about it. They're just gonna motherfucking talk about it. I love that show.
Yeah. I love it. And the mother's relationship with Shorty is so
Oh, yeah.
fucking
She's a
funny,
shit
dog.
sucker.
So funny.
Oh my god! And then when she caught her eating the meat, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit had me weak, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great show! What a
So
great
Good
show.
show. I
All
would
right.
peg you for someone that would like that show, honestly.
It was nothing I would actually turn on. I was watching it with a shorty, and it got me hooked.
Yeah.
So good.
Got
Yeah.
me hooked. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, this is a really good because I'm a sucker for rom-coms anyway. I love rom-coms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a rom-com that is very well written, very witty,
And actually funny.
very just. I love it. This is a great show, man. Great show. All right, Big T, tell me this story that we got to talk about.
We're going to take a quick break to talk to you about Steven Singer Jewelers. Valentine's Day is just 1 week away. Everyone knows our friend Steven Singer, the I Hate Steven Singer guy, always has your back for Valentine's Day. You've seen his billboards, you've heard him on the radio, but why all the hate? Well, between Steven's unbeatable free shipping, free 100-day returns, free upgrades, and free lifetime warranties, Steven Singer is the most hated jeweler by other jewelers. On top of that, Steven has the best gift for Valentine's Day. Picture it, a real long stem American Beauty rose, preserved and lavishly dipped in pure 24-karat gold, starting at just $59. Get a gift that will last. Steven's beautiful Valentine's Day red rose is romantic and won't wilt or die. I've got it right here. Obviously, you buy a dozen roses. Those things go bad in 5 days. This thing, it's dipped in gold. You've got it forever. This gift is unique, sentimental, and get this, guaranteed to last a lifetime. Add your own personalized love message in Steven's signature gift box and ship for free in time for Valentine's Day. Go now to IHateStevenSinger.com while there's still time for real roses dipped and trimmed in real gold from a real jeweler you can trust. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com.
I'm about to tell a story, and I think it might be better suited if everyone listens to it in 2x or skips it entirely, but that's just my own opinion.
No, don't skip it.
I act a bit crazy, and the boys suggest that it would be funnier if you listen to it in 2x. And here you go.
So,
Don't.
Madeline yesterday
Uh-huh.
lost her mind in a way that I've never seen before.
Okay.
I
you have me
mean,
interested.
She flew off multiple handles. So Nicky Smokes, one of our many characters here, bit of a maverick, some would say. He committed what I would say is a a fairly egregious office no-no. It was a bad thing of him to do.
Yes.
He microwaved salmon
and cauliflower
in the office.
In a open setting microwave in the kitchen of our office that everyone can smell.
So I was unaware that had occurred until I just heard Madeline start screaming and saying things that I mean, she was cussing this guy up and down. I believe there were just saying some of the craziest stuff you've ever heard. And I mean, in his face, I remember one quote was, "You're such a dick. This is why I hate you."
Wow.
Oh my God, I didn't hear that.
I did say that.
Like, just, I believe you described the smell at one point as, quote, burnt vagina,
yeah.
Burnt.
end
vagina.
quote.
It smelled so bad, Arian.
And it was,
Couldn't
I mean,
even
she
imagine.
just cussing this guy up and down. It was quite a scene. I believe it'll be on camera on Friday.
Thank God. I'm so happy
in stool scenes.
that that's on
Oh,
camera.
wow. I
It
can't wait
caught-
to see.
It really it was the maddest I've ever been at work, for sure.
It sounds like the
1,000%.
tip of the iceberg because how
So
'cause
it
I-
wasn't even Smokes that well, Smokes is like he's annoying a lot of the times. I was having a rough week. I've been in a bad mood for a couple days. That's no crime. I am allowed to be in a bad mood. Now, a lot of people see me around here, and I hope I bring this to the listeners, that I try to be pretty happy-go-lucky most of the time. I would hope that you guys would agree.
yeah.
I have been in a mood recently, and also for added context, last week, Arian, someone at this office shat so hard into one of the toilets it was overflowing and a mess, and then another one of our coworkers decided to tweet a picture of it. So then I just saw a picture of man shit in my office.
Which is different than woman shit.
Arian, this was man shit. Like, this
you.
was disgusting.
Gotcha.
And so that was disgusting. And I was like, God, you guys are a bunch of animals.
That put you in a lasting
no
bad mood. That was last week.
No, I know. That didn't put me in a lasting bad mood. I'm just saying men have been gross here recently. And then the case race and they're fucking eating puke, whatever. So men have been gross for a couple days in this office.
That seems like a generalization, but continue.
I'm just saying. The poop thing happens. I'm like, ugh, you guys are nasty.
The poop thing was bad.
Yeah. And also people tweeting pictures of it. I'm like, we don't.
I believe
need
you
see
had
it.
to click through to look at the picture.
So
though.
on my
So
desktop, on my desktop, I don't get that. And I go through Twitter on my desktop, like when I'm at work, and it was just loud and clear. There was no warning for me.
Okay.
So I saw that with my own two eyes without any warning. Then yesterday, Arian, I am sitting at my desk, which is 30 feet away from the microwave, and I am hit in the face with a smell I literally can only describe as like burnt vagina. Like it was, I was gagging. Mackenzie was there. Mackenzie also didn't smell it somehow.
No.
I was gagging, dry heaving at my desk. It caught me like a slap in the face. And I was like, what could this possibly be? And I didn't know what it was at first. I was like, this is a repugnant smell. And then I heard these whispers that Nicky Smokes had heated up fish in the office microwave. And something within my body truly like freaked the fuck out. And I literally got up, I stormed to the microwave, and I literally freaked out on him. And I said, you're a dick for this. Why would you ever do something like this? Like, and he said, there's no one in the office this week, as 10 people are standing in the freaking kitchen. So it's just because like Big Cat's not here that you want to like microwave fish. Like, I'm a person too. I deserve to not have my nose be like absolutely assaulted right
She's
now.
getting mad again.
I don't really eat fish like that. Like, I don't have a problem with it. It's just it doesn't taste that good to me, right?
Okay.
It has to be prepared well. I like sushi, but not fish. Like
Well,
slab of fish, not my thing. But so I've never microwaved fish. Is it
Arian, it
always smell
smelled-
like this?
It did smell bad.
it smelled ridiculously gross.
Well, why would
and
you
he
eat
just
that
is-
if it smelled bad?
Well, and so here's the fucking thing, Arian, is why would you heat that up? And also, him and I are the same age. We have been in the workforce for the same amount of time. Smokes also had a real job before Barstool. You know, you don't bring in a fillet of salmon and steamed cauliflower and throw that shit in a microwave that everyone uses and will waft out. That is like office etiquette 101.
I didn't know I was conjuring up bad memories.
Yes.
And
I told you she was mad.
It's just such a lack of awareness. And he's sitting there with his dumb fucking face looking at me, being like, I didn't know. You knew. And also, I bet you could fucking know when it was 15 seconds in and it started to sniff. I bet you knew then too. And you just kept going because you're on 75 hard and you need to eat your salmon fillet. I literally lost my ever-loving mind. I just thought it was so rude.
Was anybody else upset?
No. Well, people were like, ew, that smells really bad. I'm the one that led the charge on, like, I think you need to be, like, publicly humiliated for this. And I told him it was, like, a dick move and that, like, you shouldn't be doing this in the office. And, like, it's a super it's just, like, really, 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 like, I think a selfish move, honestly. And I think he knows that fish smells bad in an office. I think he's not that stupid. And then he tried to shake my hand and be like, oh, we're all good, right? And I said, no, I don't want to touch your fishy vagina hands. Actually, I don't. I don't want to have your salmon waft upon me. So, yeah, it was just really, really annoying. And I just, like, find it stupid that he would do something like that. And that's, yeah.
All right, final question of this debacle. What is burnt vagina?
And I didn't know what it smelled like either before yesterday. And then I smelled it and I was like, that's what it is. Like, that's what it was just kind of like a when you know situation. Like, I just was like, that's what it smells like. And I literally try my best to, like, be friends with everyone here. And I, like, try to be nice all the time. I have never been more mad at a person in this office than I was yesterday at Nicky Smokes. And it's just the way that he was so aloof about it, too. He wasn't like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry if it smelled bad. 30 feet away in a different part of the office while I'm trying to work. He was just like, what do you mean? Like I just heated up my fish. Your fish? It's February and it's a Tuesday afternoon and I have to smell your fish now? What did I do to deserve this? What did I do to have to smell your salmon and cauliflower? Also, and cauliflower, by the way, which is also not a, like, delightful smell, if you were wondering.
No.
And people are going to comment.
I thought this was going to be a 2-minute deal. I didn't.
Yeah.
But you knew how mad I was yesterday. And people are going to come and say, Madeline's such a bitch. And Madeline's so awful. And Madeline is annoying for thinking this is a big deal. You know what? I overreacted. But sometimes I think.
Twice.
Yes. But sometimes I said this to my mom last night because I was like, am I crazy? And she was like, yeah, you are crazy. But
You wait, so you went home from work and called your mom about it?
No, she called me and then I said, listen to this shit. And then I understand that I overreacted. Sometimes though, like,
are you crying?
No, sometimes when I tell stories on here, I just get teary-eyed because I laughed. But, like, sometimes the men here, I just feel like have no decorum and like need some discipline. And I also think that Smokes did something like that because he knew Big Cat was gone and, like, Big Cat would have been like, what the hell are you doing? That's my 2 cents.
I would keep it being,
or 3
buddy.
cents.
I don't think Nicky Smokes waited until Big Cat left the office to cook his fish. I don't think he.
I think he did,
Big Cat.
Arian.
No, I think he's an idiot.
Well, he is an idiot also.
That's why he did it.
Like, he had a plan. Like, I can't. New Orleans, when New Orleans comes around and Super Bowl comes around, I'm going to bring my fish.
I actually. Fish. I respect if he did that.
Because like
he's been lying in wait.
He might be smart then.
But it also, like, no one's in the office. I figured I could do it. So he knew that it was going to stink at least a little bit. And also, like, it's not everyone's gone. It's not like Nicky Smokes is, like, the only person here. There are other people that work at this place. And, like, now I've got to smell your fish on a Tuesday at noon. Like, that is so disgusting. So, yeah, did I overreact? Yes. Is it probably the craziest I've ever acted at work? Most likely. But, like, sometimes I need to put a foot down. And I think if you were there, you would agree.
I don't know, man. I don't think I would. But
I know, but now Big T's making me spread the story, and I'm gonna be even more crazed.
I think it gave you a chance to say your piece, and
It seems like you needed it.
yeah,
I think this is gonna be one of those things that's like every time you ask about it for the next 10 years, I'm gonna get just as mad. And again, that might be
seems a
bias.
bit. That seems like a bit much.
I know, but like it just really riled me up in a way I didn't know I had in me. In a workplace.
I did have it. I mean, like,
It
so if
smelled
I
so
was
bad,
to
Arian.
accidentally warm my fish up,
Yeah.
like, I don't feel like you'd have snapped on me like that. Even like my like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I would probably be like, Arian, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I think it had everything to do with who it was. Like, imagine if Kirk warmed up fish.
Well, if
You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying? You'd be.
I mean,
you might slap it. You ain't slapped him, right?
there would be physical involved.
That's what I'm saying. So I
probably.
think it had more to do with Nicky.
Well, and it was also his reaction. He wasn't sorry about it. He was aloof about the whole situation.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
That this just occurred to me. I can't believe I hadn't thought of this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Nicky Smokes' lack of office decorum. Would you also say that screaming at people in the middle of an office and cursing at them would potentially also qualify as a lack of office decorum?
Yes, but it was more of a reaction to the original. Lack of decorum.
That's fair, but if we're criticizing.
No, and totally, it was an overreaction on my part, but do you see me, like, I'm owning up to the fact that it was an overreaction? I do not see Nicky Smokes, I did not see him owning up to the fact that it was the wrong choice to warm up fish.
I think he did say that.
Well, after I was, screaming in his face. And he did that just so I would shut up.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Fish talk with Maddie.
I thought that was 90 to 120 seconds.
Well, what'd you want me to say?
No, go off.
Nicky Smokes. That's my made off. That's my made off. Like, don't do that. Don't do that, and then be so aloof for that. How could it possibly even? You smelled it too, Nick. Charles, your real name.
Wow.
It'd be really funny. Listen to on ×2 speed. Just her go off on Nicky.
And like I don't know. It just was like I was in a really bad mood, and like that was just like the straw that broke the camel's back. And then to have it be from Nicky Smokes of all people, like it was just the perfect storm, honestly. And yeah,
should we record you saying something to put in front of that and be like, listen to this in 2x if you
want to see me go off? Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm about to tell a story. And I think it might be better suited if everyone listens to it in 2x or skips it entirely, but that's just my own opinion.
No, don't skip it.
I act a bit crazy, and the boys suggest that it would be funnier if you listen to it in 2x. And here you go.
And scene. Beautiful.
Yeah. Like, but like now people are going to think I'm a bitch.
We're going back.
But now people are going to think I'm like a mega bitch, which like,
and no, it's better to get in front of it. It's because that'll come out on Friday. Yeah. So this is good. Like I said, if you didn't want me to mention that and it wasn't recorded, I wouldn't have, but it was already coming out. So
yeah, I just like it really rubbed me the wrong way. And I told everyone I knew. Actually, I just told my mom. But it was just really disgusting. And it was just the most repugnant smell I've ever smelled in my life.
I think the word you're looking for is repugnant.
Oh, God. And I sound stupid, too. God damn.
Pungent is another word that it could also describe it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's pungent. It hit my nose like Muhammad Ali in the 70s. Is that when he was boxing?
Yeah. 60s probably his prime, but yeah.
Yeah. 60s or 70s. It hit me in...
Putrid is my favorite stinky word.
Yeah,
putrid.
It was putrid too.
Stinky.
It was all the above.
Yeah,
it was like...
Putrid's a good word.
It was bad. It was really, 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 really bad. And it made me really mad. And anyways, moving on, please change the subject before I keep going on.
Yeah, I don't... Where do we go from here?
Well, not fish. That's for goddamn sure. What are your... Go to your list, man. What's on Big T's list?
You had something again, it seems?
Well, for Arian, not like for me.
Oh,
okay.
Shit,
go ahead.
We missed you on Monday after the whole Kendrick sweep.
Oh, they bring out the broom for my dog, didn't they? It's bad at this point because now the narrative is it's a I guess a conspiracy against Drake. Right, it's this elitist. They're trying to take down the boy conspiracy. Right, I hear a lot of the chatter on going back and forth with Drake and his fans. But I mean, it's one of the greatest hip hop songs to be released, honestly, as far as its acclaim and its impact and its notoriety. And so I knew he was going to win a Grammy for it when I saw the impact that it was having. I think this is absolutely going to be a Grammy winning song because one, the Grammys love Kendrick. I think rightfully so. But I was happy for my dog, man. That's my GOAT. It was a great moment in hip hop. It was one of the best battles of all time. Little one sided on my scorecard, but it was great. It's great to see two heavyweights go at it. And it's kind of funny to see Drake leave the country at before Grammys and for the Super Bowl. I think it's good for his mental health, honestly, because that would be tough to see your L celebrated by so many people. I do understand that, but that's what's dangerous about Kendrick, man. He warned you, stop playing with me before I turn you into a song. And that's what happened. So got swept. And one of the funnier parts was I don't know if Kendrick is this diabolical, like he's like a supervillain or not, but he accepted the Grammy speech in what they call a Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was I didn't know what a Canadian because I kept seeing Canadian tuxedo. What the fuck is that? And it's just an all jean suit, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he accepted it in a Canadian tuxedo. And you had Taylor Swift dancing to the song, and the entire crowd's saying A minor. That's just bad, dog. It's bad. And if I was Drake, I'd be pissed too. And I think he's in Perth or some shit right now, Melbourne, wherever. He's somewhere in Australia, and he's trying to be as far away from the noise as possible. And Lucien was high fiving Dr. Dre. I don't know if y'all saw that. Lucien is like the head of UMG, I believe.
Lucien Grange, yeah.
Yeah, and he was high fiving Dr. Dre, and yeah, it's just not a good look. But that's why the Drake conspiracy is coming. It's like they're all against him. It's a conspiracy. They're trying to take him down because he's trying to expose the yada yada yada. I don't want to hear that shit. Great moment for hip hop. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Clean sweep.
I was just this was a pivot from that. Have you acknowledged that the Lakers getting one of the best basketball players in the world is good yet? We talked about this on Monday, so we don't have to go too much into it, but I need to hear you say it.
Listen, the reason why I don't think it's the best for the Lakers is like this. The Lakers are doing it. I know why they're doing it, right? LA needs a superstar. LA will always need a superstar. That's it, LA, Boston, like those are cornerstones in the NBA, and they need superstars to carry them. I think Luka is one of the most talented basketball players in the world. Absolutely. But that style of play, I've never been in favor of, right? And it's not just me. Kobe said the same thing about James Harden. They have very similar games, right? Before Kobe died, he got a lot of flack for this, and he turned out to be absolutely correct. He said, I don't think that he'll ever win a championship like that. And at the time, he was averaging 36 a game. James Harden was averaging 36 a game. And Kobe was on record saying he's what he's doing is unbelievable. He's like, but he's not going to win a championship like that.
Luka's way better than James Harden.
He is not a better scorer than James Harden was. He was averaging 36. Did you hear what I said? 36 a game.
Luka's a better player than James Harden.
I think they're similar players, right? They're very ball dominant. And this is what Kobe was talking about. He's ball dominant. He slows the pace of the game down with his scoring. That's how he plays. And I'm not a fan of that play style. Now, listen, I've already, the Luka fans are gonna come out the world, you don't know, it's CTE, you don't know basketball, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I hope he's the best basketball the world has ever seen. I hope he plays the best basketball ever. Like, I'm a Laker fan. I will absolutely root for Cuz. I just think that style of play is not very conducive to winning championships. And it's not just my opinion. Like I said, Kobe got roasted for it, and it turned out to be true. It's hard to win like that, especially in the playoffs. In the playoffs, the possession slowed down. And in playoffs, you game plan for the offense a little better. Like Kobe said, it's easy to keep in front of you. That's my opinion. That's my basketball opinion. And so I'm not thrilled with it. Like I said, I think he's an amazing player. I'm not a fan of his style of play. It's that simple. My hope is that he gets to be around LeBron these next two years, maybe however long LeBron got left, and he's going crazy, right? He averaging like 28 right now. I think in the last month. My hope is he gets around LeBron and he sees how LeBron works, the reason why LeBron is able to do what he's doing at age 40 is because of how he takes care of his body and how he prepares. I think there's very few humans in the world that do this, and he's one of them. And if you can get around that and mimic that, then you can extend your career. You can extend your basketball IQ because LeBron's one of the smartest basketball players that have ever walked this planet. And so that's my hope. And he'll be great for the Lakers for the next decade. We'll see.
Okay. I think it's crazy that you're not like over the moon.
I just told you why I wasn't. Why would I be over the moon about somebody who I feel like is just gonna slow the pace of the game down and score a bunch of points, but we're not gonna win? That doesn't make no sense.
I would be shocked if the Lakers are not very good for the majority of the time they have Luka.
I hope that's the case. I'm saying, I hope that's the case.
He took the Mavericks to the finals last year, and they weren't very good outside of him.
Houston was great when James Harden was. You don't understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're gonna be 0-82. Houston was great. They went to the conference finals. They did very well with Harden. I said it's not conducive to winning championships. He's going to win games. He's going to score points. He's going to get you there. This was Kobe's point. I took this talking point directly from Kobe. It's hard to win championships with that style of play. And I think when people when people criticize your superstar, they always make it personal. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck about how you feel about Luka, not you in general, but it's like Luka fans are fucking insane, dog. Like I was drinking a little bit when the trade happened, and I was just expressing my basketball opinion about my favorite team, and these niggas started going at me like it got like personal, right? And I was like, I wasn't in the mood for it, so I did what I usually do. I said, pull up, you know what I mean? Pull the fuck up, and the next day I rescinded that. But it just gets to the point where it's like, dog, we ain't talking basketball anymore. Like, you think I'm taking personal shots at this man? I don't know this man. I have a basketball opinion. It's like you have a basketball opinion. I guarantee you, everybody that fans-wise, anyway, I'll dog every one of y'all at ball.
Just wait until the 2027 NBA Finals when Luka and Dalton Connect combine for 56 a game. It's going to be scenes.
No defense.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's another thing.
Doesn't matter.
You got to admit that. They don't play no D.
It doesn't matter. It's the NBA. Nobody plays defense.
This is not true. It is not true, though.
It used to be that they would play defense in the playoffs, and now they don't even do that.
That's just not true. I think it's a fun thing to say.
Like, I watched somebody posted, is he Croatian, Luka? What, Serbian? I forget.
Slovenian,
yeah.
One of them jumps up there.
Whatever country he's from, the last guy they had from that country was Sasha Vujacic, so somebody posted a clip of him hitting the free throws to win the 08 or 09 finals. And the game 7 was like 86-84. Like, it used to be radically different. Now the playoff games are 120-116. Like,
you have to.
And part of that's because the scoring has gotten much better, but still.
You have to. That's another part of this why I was so upset. Was like, people are acting like AD is just some regular ad. Though this man's a Hall of Famer. First ballot Hall of Famer.
It's a good player.
Who's one of the top defenders in the league at his position, and it'll give you 30 a night.
He's also 32 and gets hurt all the time.
Luka's hurt when this trade went on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it was the disregard for AD that blew my mind. Like, he's just what do you mean? Now we're in search of a big man. We don't have no presence in the middle. And that's not easy.
They're gonna get one.
Huh?
They're gonna get one. Also, that's very short term.
This was my problem with the trade. It was just people are so horny over Luka that you forget what you lost.
You should be horny for Luka.
I am not. I'm sorry. Like, I would love to be proven wrong. If he helps LA win
so you think the Lakers will not win a single championship with Luka?
I think that it is hard. I don't make any declarative statements.
Because I would bet you a lot of money that they win a championship with him.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you agree with Kobe's point that it's hard to win championships like that?
Yes, ideally, all of your players are outstanding scorers and great defenders, but it doesn't work like that.
No, that wasn't even his point. That wasn't his point. I didn't even bring up defense when I brought up that point. That's just an additional to it. Ball dominant points. it's hard to win like that. It is very hard to win like that. Championships, you're gonna win games. You're gonna score points. He's gonna be first team All NBA. He's gonna be All Star. This is none of that is debated. I'm not questioning his talent. I think his style of play, to me, is just it's hard to win championships like that. It's hard.
Is Steph ball dominant?
Huh? No.
Is Steph ball? He takes a lot of shots.
He can be, but he's not ball dominant. So like he can get his shot off very quickly. Luka, he's a like I don't want to say a set shooter, but like he can't get his shot off as quick. He's probably quicker to pass than Luka. They're in nowhere in the case quicker. He's way quicker. It's just two different styles, and not only that, like the pieces that were around Steph were suited to Steph's game. And like I said, that high screen and roll ball dominant point, it's just hard to win in this game. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't like that. I will be happy. I'm not rooting against the Lakers. That's my squad. I'm a Laker fan. I'm just not as, I don't know. Like if you're not like Luka's the best basketball player in the world, like people get mad at you. Like, well, sorry. To me, he's not.
He's probably second. He's probably second.
I don't think so.
I guarantee the Los Angeles Lakers will win at least one NBA championship with Luka on their team. Guarantee it.
I hope you're right.
I guarantee it.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. What do you want me to say?
No, it might be, that might be 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know, but they will do it.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're correct.
We'll find out.
I hope you're correct. Yeah.
I hope we're still doing this show when it happens.
For sure. Even if not, FaceTime me.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
I think.
What?
Damn, you already divorcing me, Big T?
No, I'm trying to, like, if we didn't do this show, how often would you and I talk? I don't know.
We would still had a group chat. I like group chats. I talked to dudes that I went to high school with 20 years ago.
I do think it would be like, if for whatever reason, and that's not happening, we stop doing this show. Like, I talk to Arian 6 hours a week. That's more than I talk to damn near anybody.
Yeah, and I don't know that I've ever talked to anybody in this capacity this much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard having a podcast, actually.
Yeah, our lives are really hard.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna think about it, dog. Like so this Luka, for instance, this shit, right? I would never publicly proclaim my opinion about this shit, right? But like you asked me on a podcast, and between me and you, I would have this conversation between one of my boys and me. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you know Glasses Malone. He's a rapper.
Yeah,
we talked.
Yeah,
to
we
him.
had him on.
Yeah, for sure. So him and one of my dudes back from San Diego, they hit me on a 3-way call. We was talking about the Luka trade, right? Just like chop it up with the boys, right? But when you on a podcast, like you gotta have opinion about shit, and I'm not that opinionated over a lot of stuff, in all honesty. But it's like having a podcast, like you kind of have to talk. And
You've said this before.
Huh?
You've said this before.
Yeah, and it's still kind of new to me, honestly. Like,
You did tweet about it.
especially this frequently, like keeping up with current events and stuff. I try not to, honestly. Hey, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, dog. Death, dying, disease, hunger, games, everything. Tech.
I like to focus on the games.
You gotta have a niche. I'm super into golf right now, so. But it's just hard to have your thumb on the pulse of the people, especially when you're pessimist. Because it all boils down to I don't really give a fuck, man. But I don't think you're there yet. I think you still have hope in this place. And I like that.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean by this place? Just the world?
Yeah. Or maybe you don't. Right?
I've tried in the last year or so to just care less about a lot of shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I've been actively trying to lessen my my consumption of a lot of that kind of stuff. So I don't know that I have an opinion one way or the other on the future of things.
I do. But I digress.
I've got a hard pivot that's happier than wherever your head's at.
I live in a perpetual state of pessimism, brother. I know how to
Okay,
adapt, though.
well-
What's happening?
So there was a tweet that was going viral about some woman saying that she would have nightmares about the guy in the Empire flooring commercial. 800-588-2300 Empire. Y'all are familiar?
Yes.
It sounds familiar, but I'd have to.
Oh, well, so that's a good segue. I wanted to talk about everyone's top TV jingles of all time.
Ooh. Oh. One that, and there's a bunch, but the top two that just. No, three now. Okay. The winner. No, the fresh goes better. Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better. Mentos freshness full of life. Mentos, the fresh maker. Y'all don't remember that one? That might have been a little before your time.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
The other one is I am stuck on Band-Aid brand.
'Cause
Don't
Band-Aids
stick
stick
on
on
me.
me.
Yep.
That's a good one.
And then my other one would be it's the Flintstones one. We are Flintstones, kid. The Flintstones
Yeah.
vitamins ones.
Yeah.
I forget. Is it million strong and growing? I think that's it. Yeah.
Those went crazy. The Flintstones vitamins.
Yeah, man. Oh, fun fact about the McDonald's jingle. The I'm loving it. The person who composed that got shafted, by the way, but the person who composed that only got 500,000 off rip for it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but not. I mean, it was one of the most brilliant jingles of all time. It's McDonald's jingle. You should have got residuals. But
Yeah, I was gonna say like royalties.
Pusha T made the McDonald's jingle.
Really?
Yeah,
When was that?
long time ago.
But I feel
think-
it must not have been that long ago.
Yeah, what? What do you mean?
If it was
Like,
Pusha T,
2000s, early 2000s, maybe.
yeah, that's not that long ago.
Bro, that's 20 years ago.
I know, but relative to, I thought they'd had that forever.
Nah, that's
Yeah, me
relatively new.
November of 2003, it says it was released originally.
Bang.
That was the heyday. Chicken Selects. That's back when that place was popping.
I liked growing up Reese's Puffs,
Peanut butter chocolate flavor.
I
like
don't
that.
remember that one.
Oh yeah, when Reese's Puffs
That
came
was
out.
like when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't on
Nationwide is on your side.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I love the Empire
Oh.
flooring songs. I was just
Oh my God. You know which one I loved? Get connected for free
Oh, a
with
classic.
education connection. Get connected.
That one was on Game Show Network on loop. I was
Did you
watching
guys
that.
have like a specific law firm that had a jingle like in your local area?
Not a jingle, but we have a man in Cleveland that buys up every billboard space he can, and he does a raised eyebrow. Tim Misney. I'll make them pay. That's what he says.
I remember
Oh. The best part of waking up. Folgers in
Oh,
your
yeah.
cup.
Being like a local like TV jingle guy in like the early 2000s must have been a really good job. Like I
What's-
feel like there's probably like one or two dudes that did that, or women. Sorry.
What's that? Oh, you mean like a newscaster?
No, but like a dude who wrote jingles for like local franchises. I bet that was a fun job in 2004.
Jingles are fun.
Yeah.
There was I don't know if y'all ever watched the Jamie Foxx show.
I feel
Well,
like that may have been before our time.
Yeah, early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, late 90s, I was an infant.
It's no excuse. But Jamie Foxx was that was his job in the TV show. He was a jingle writer.
I was gonna say there's another show. There's like a couple shows where like the guy's job is jingle writer. I feel like there's like a Disney show like that too, where it's like the dad was a jingle writer.
I bet you were watching Arsenio too, Boomer.
That I was like a kid, you know what I mean? But yeah, Arsenio Hall was of course.
I just wanted to call you a Boomer.
Oh, I'm not though. I'm a millennial. You know what I'm saying? We're the perfect generation.
I consider myself a millennial.
But you're not.
I think
though.
you are. I am.
So like 1997 is right on the. Some say it's the last year of millennials. Some say it's the first year of Gen Z.
Okay. Well, you're the ultimate boomer.
Yeah, no, that's
Just
why.
by vibes.
That's why I refuse to identify with Gen Z.
Yeah, you're definitely not Gen Z.
Yeah, you are. You not like us.
I want that retracted. You can't say that anymore.
I can.
Has
This is
bad
why.
connotations.
This is why we're the bridge to the old world and the new. We understand and lived in a world where technology was not the nucleus of the society, and now we live and understand and live in a world where the technology is the nucleus of society, and we have traversed both worlds and we understand both worlds.
You read the ancient texts?
We did, and those were called the phone books.
Yeah. I had VCRs growing up. I've seen the darker ages.
You had VCR. When were you born?
1997.
I had VCRs.
You VHS? You
Yeah.
mean?
Well, VCR was the machine that
Yeah.
played the VHS.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on.
we had those, Arian.
When did DVDs come out?
Early 2000s.
But you
Yeah,
had
so you
both
really-
at one point.
Yeah.
95. They came out in 95.
Nobody was using DVDs in 95. But a DVD player in 1995 was $5,000.
I don't think that's the case.
All my
on.
tapes, videos from growing up are VHSs.
Yeah.
$800.
Which
For
back
a
then was
DVD?
Was
What,
it 5? I would say it was probably
2,500?
like 1.5. Okay. What is it?
I'm looking.
I say 1.5.
$800 in 1995.
Yeah. It also came out in Japan.
Yeah, 1,700.
I might be better at this guessing game than you, though. I just been keeping.
You're not.
I've been keeping small tabs in my head over the tenure of our podcast. I think I am better at this guessing game than you.
You're not.
I think
I
I
will
am,
s-
man.
I will say last night was the dozen kickoff, and I watched all 3 matches, and I got several bonus round questions exactly on the nose. It was like the first of 5. I got some dead fucking on.
Nice.
I know, and I just was like, getting my practice in before our season starts up again.
I considered retirement.
But you didn't.
I can't. One last ride. Brett Favre on the Vikings. That was one of his best seasons.
Was it really?
Oh yeah, he was awesome that year.
Love that.
They went to the NFC Championship game. That's when they lost to the Saints in the Bounty Gate thing.
Didn't even take any government funds. Shout out to Brett Favre, man.
A lot of people been taking government funds.
Talk about it.
I was just referencing the USAID thing.
Honestly, I haven't even been keeping up. I've been trying to disassociate myself for a while. It can get exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we ever get to your sheet?
Well, I had the jingle thing on it. The other story was, have you seen the American woman who went to Pakistan and is now becoming like their leader?
No.
Okay, so you need to look into this. It's an American woman who had been talking to this Pakistani guy online, and I guess they made the determination, or she did, that they were going to be married. So she flies to Pakistan, and this guy ghosts her completely to the point that he had his family move out of their home so that when she showed up at his house, there was nobody there. And so now she's become like a local celebrity, and she's going on the Pakistani news being like, I'm demanding $5,000 a week, and I'm gonna, she says she's gonna rebuild Pakistan and all this shit, and they love her. She's the cultural leader of the country now.
Wild. And
yeah, she's funny. You should look into it.
It's like a serious, like she's like making a serious political
Not political. She's just they think she's hilarious.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I haven't seen it.
But yeah, she got ghosted, and now she's I think she's trying to stay in Pakistan, it seems.
And she from here?
Yeah.
Huh. Nah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, you should look into it though. Interesting story. We're going to do some voicemails, but before we get to that, I want to talk to you about DraftKings. This ain't the little itty bitty teeny tiny bowl. This is Super Bowl 59. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. Scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and you have a shot to score big by betting on them at DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code MACRO, that's code MACRO, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
All right, so since PFT is out in New Orleans for the Super Bowl week, we was gonna do a topic, but me and Big T decided to just do a bunch of voicemails, get some Macrodosing interaction. So we asked y'all to call in, and y'all did not disappoint. We appreciate it. So hopefully y'all enjoy this segment. I'm excited. I wanted to do a live call in, but got vetoed. That's okay. That's all right.
You didn't get vetoed.
We
it just
will
would
do
have
it.
been
Yes.
impossible to do on short notice.
Yes.
Like I said, got vetoed. So
The idea
Technologically, you were vetoed.
Yes, we will do it.
got AI vetoed. I'm okay with that. Yeah, so let them rip, Mad Dogs.
Okay.
Hey, Macrodosing crew, it's Sean from Kentucky. I had a quick question for Arian. Why do you always call PFT by his real name, Eric, R.I.P., but you never call Big T by his real name, Connor? Thanks. Bye.
Can I answer that quickly before you?
Yeah, go ahead.
He didn't know my name for like 18 months.
That is part of it, for sure. I didn't know Big T's name for a good little while, and so I thought his name had to start with a T, right? So when they told me what it was, I was like, what the fuck is this? I think that was initially, and so when you're introduced to me as something, that's how you are in my head. And so when I see Big T, I don't see a Connor. That's very weird to me. Even like, I know his name is that on his birth certificate, but when I'm looking at him right now, doesn't register as a Connor to me. It registers as Big T. But conversely, PFT, aka Eric, I think I have that problem with I don't have a problem with when I feel like there's like an authority, I like to circumnavigate that. And so PFT has like a prestige, right? And he has built, congrats to him. He has built this big, his brand around himself with Barstool, with PMT, and everybody calls him PFT. I like to call him Eric because nobody calls him Eric. Everybody calls him PFT. And so it's kind of like a little jab at him just to fuck with him. And I would only do that like if I know you, right? I didn't call him Eric when I first met him, but as time has grown, we've developed a good friendship. And so it's kind of like my way of just fucking with him. Again, he doesn't mind, obviously. If he actually cared, if he was like, yo, don't call me that, especially I would never disrespect him, right? But it's just like a little fun little jab because everybody calls him PFT. And so like it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen Coming to America, but when he was talking about Muhammad Ali, there's a dude in a barbershop, and he was like, he's like, same thing when he fought Cassius Clay. He said his name is Muhammad Ali. He says, mama named Cassius, I'm gonna call him Cassius. It's kind of like that, just kind of fuck with him. No disrespect.
Is that movie still funny?
Oh, what?
Because I've never seen it. I've never seen it, but it seems to me like something that might have.
Boys in the Hood, but you ain't seen Coming to America. I could take you down the road for all the hood classics, man.
I'm not averse to seeing it. It just seems like in my brain something that might not have held up as well.
A lot of things. So like to me, like The Last Dragon. The Last Dragon is another hood classic with I don't even know his name. Fuck. It's one of those movies where it was in the moment, but to me, it's always going to be funny. So I probably have a little bias when you ask me, did I hold up? And there are funny parts that I still quote to this day, right? And there's a lot of like racial humor in it, like which I don't know. Like today, can't say anything racially. People get all upset either side, and so there's a lot of that. But to me, it's like a classic, so it's always funny to me. I don't know actually. I would advise you to watch it. I think a movie that I think would hold up is Life. You've seen Life, right?
No,
Oh,
I'm not.
that to me, that's the cream of the crop. To me, Life with Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, to me, that is the cream of the crop of black movies. That's like the top of the tops. Um, and off of that, like Harlem Nights is another one. But I think Coming to America would probably age pretty well. I think all those old 80s, 90s Eddie Murphy movies were really good. Trading Places, really good one. Um, yeah, give it a run. I think you might like it.
Okay. See, like when I watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, like if that movie was made now, the jokes would still be hilarious.
I just
But then, I
never.
watch something like, I'm trying to think of one that maybe,
That didn't age well.
yeah, like an 80s movie. Like people are gonna get mad about this.
Fuck
I
'em.
don't know that Ferris Bueller's Day Off is like that funny.
I never saw it as funny. It was just
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't.
cool like
But
movie. Like it was fun to
I
watch.
see how in the 80s that would have been an awesome movie.
I don't know that we ever saw it. I never was like, I'm gonna watch this and ball. Like it was never
No,
like
but I think
funny.
it's supposed to be a comedy.
I never saw it as a comedy. Like I mean, I know it was a comedy, but I never like watched Ferris Bueller. I was like, nigga, this shit is hilarious. I was always like, oh, it's cool little, cool little flick, you know,
Yeah,
classic.
but even more so than it not being that funny, like it doesn't do a ton for me. But I see how in the 80s that would have been a great movie.
Fair enough.
The Cubs are playing the Braves in that movie in the game they go to. Fun fact.
Love baseball. It's one of my favorite things.
Me too. Saw some still photos of a Braves team workout today. Means we're close.
Oh, spring ball starting.
In like another week or so it officially starts, yeah. But some
Love it.
guys are already there, like hitting and stuff.
Putting in the work. Love it. Yeah. Love that. That's coming up for you. All right, let's go to the next voicemail.
Hey guys, my name's Asia. I'm from Florida. Big fan of the pod. I just wanted to say I think you guys do a really good job of touching on certain political topics and still being able to have an open conversation where everybody's opinion gets heard out. With the tension of these conversations being so high right now, it's really nice to see friends who can just take a lighter approach on these things and actually discuss important issues. So my question to you guys is, do you have any advice when it comes to having these open conversations with friends and family that might share different opinions? How can we just have normal conversations about politics again without losing these people in our lives? So that's my question. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Big fan.
Great question. I think personally, and granted, I make no bones. I am of the left, right? Uh, I think for me, it's the reason why I can have a relationship with Big T and wholly disagree with his worldview, right? And not think he's evil. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of political issues does come down to morality, right? Abortion, for example, that's a moral stance that you're taking. Um, Even some economic issues can be a moral standing. Me and Big T disagree morally. I mean, and that goes down to like our fundamental worldview. Like I don't want to assert, but I would assume a lot of his morality comes from a deity or the book, right? That we say is the Bible. I don't think that that is a reputable source of morality, right? So like right there, our fundamental where we're starting from, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, and so I've had an opportunity to get to know Big T. I don't think he's a morally abhorrent person, right? I think he's a good dude, and I'm sure that he believes the same about me, even though our foundation is on polar opposites, right? He may still believe I'm going to hell, right? But he probably thinks, yeah, good dude, just lost, right? And that's all assertion. I don't know if that's what you feel, but that's what I assume. And I think for me, it's like, okay, I could sit here and we can have it out every time I talk to him, or I can come to which I have to. I came to the conclusion that I don't think he wants what's bad for people. I think some of his stances are obviously wrong, right? And he thinks some of my stances are obviously wrong. But I think he still wants good for people. He just has a different way to get there than I do. And I think if you operate from that premise, you can have good conversations. And we still get a heated conversation sometimes on camera, sometimes off. But I leave the conversation thinking, okay, we disagree. I think some of the stuff he says is misinformation and misguided. He thinks some of the things I say is misinformation, misguided. And we're never going to change each other's minds, right? And I think if you come with it like, I'm not trying to change your mind, I want to get an understanding. How did you arrive to your conclusions? Where did you get your sources, your information? Because a lot of the time, I like to argue with people. It's not necessarily to change anybody's mind. It's to sharpen my sword, okay? Because how I like to, and this is long-winded, but it's a deep question in my opinion. Like I like to have my worldview match my reality. So it's why I'm an atheist. I can't find enough evidence to believe that there's a God. And if I can't find enough evidence, I won't believe in something. And so a lot of times when I'm arguing with people, it's like, okay, well, where'd you get that from? Like, okay, you have a polar opposite view of me. Where did you get that from? How did you arrive at this conclusion? Now to try to understand their methodology of getting to their conclusion. And I doubt we'll come to an agreement. You know, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But I walk away thinking that, you know, it's still a good dude. I don't agree with him. And if I want to go to war with everybody I disagree with, I'm gonna spend my entire life arguing with people. And I just don't want to live like that. I want to live a peaceful life. You know, sometimes confrontation is unavoidable, but at the end of the day, I have to come into especially for somebody I love and care about. I got to come to that conversation knowing, yo, you don't want to actually murder people. You don't want to actually do bad things. You just there's premises and axioms that we disagree on that, you know, informed or uninformed. That's your conclusion. And understanding is the best thing. How did you come to that? Okay, I understand how you got there. Move on because we just disagree.
I think you answered the question in most of the, you said a similar thing to what I would say, which is I think the proliferation of arguing on the internet has made people, like, most of the conversations people are having are with total strangers, and like, so you don't give a shit about that person. Like, if you tell them to kill themselves, like, who cares? Like, you'll never talk to them again. And so I think that is seeped into conversations people have in real life where, like, you don't you've thrown all caution to the wind because in your mind, like, you're just having this argument with someone that you don't give a shit what happens to them. They're, you know, the enemy or whatever. So I think you have to care about the person that you're talking to. Otherwise it's just like another internet argument you're having, and then you can say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, and I think when it gets to that, you're not even arguing against the person. It's the idea that you're arguing about, right? And once you take out the humanity of it, that's why everything is so heightened right now, because it's an ideological warfare. I disagree with the idea. And this is how wars get started. And this is why you have to make a decision. Do you want to walk? Because I mean, it's a big part of the reason I'm a pessimist is because I don't believe a lot of people research their beliefs to the point where they're willing to go to bat for it, right? That's just my personal opinion, right? So I can go around and act like that all day, right? And I think a lot of times the perception is that's how I am or Big T is because y'all are here, you know what I'm saying, argument or something like that on here. But it's not the cat. I don't walk around arguing with conservatives at the store. I don't walk around. It's just like I have a tweet, I'll say something funny about it, or you have a comment on here, I'll say something witty and jest, or I'll contend that point. But I don't walk around my life like that. And if like my sister, for example, like she is extremely there's an extreme position that she holds, which I just absolutely disagree with. And sometimes we'll talk about it, but I have to come into it with the, like I said, the understanding, like, oh, this is my sister, right? I disagree. None of us are going to write legislation to change any of this shit. It's just what we feel, right? We feel is correct. I think she's an amazing human being. I love her to death. And I think she wants what's best for the world. If you love somebody and you come from that premise of, I think they want what's best for the world, that is the starting point. And that has to be the ending point as well. I could think you're a dumbass all day, but where does that leave us? It doesn't leave us anywhere. And it's a miserable place, because what human, like I'm of the left. I think a lot of people on the left are fundamentally misguided, right? But there's not a single person on this earth that agrees with every single thing that I say. There can't be, right? And if there is, let me know. I would love to hang out with you. But there just can't be. There has to be some kind of nuance in our thinking. And you can't go around going to war with everybody. It's just impossible, dog. You'll be miserable. And like, I'm miserable enough. So that's how I would go about that. That's a great question, though.
What's up, Macro Crew? It's Spready from Brooksville, Florida. My question is, what's your best advice you would give someone who's trying to start losing weight, or, convince themselves to do something they don't want? I've kind of gaslit myself into doing it more by going 2 weeks after New Year's Eve, because I'm no longer a sheep like everyone else on New Year's with a resolution. I'm a shepherd with a resolution. Would love to hear all your thoughts. Stay gorgeous. Stay handsome. Thanks.
So he's asking, it was a little bit muddled. What is he exactly asking?
Like, what's advice that you would give to someone that's like trying to get their life, like he said he's trying to lose weight, like get on the right path. And he said, I believe he said he's not a sheep because he did not start this at New Year's and he's starting it now.
I like that. Not a sheep. I'm
A shepherd. But if you have any advice for how to stay motivated in reaching your goals, or I guess losing weight for this man.
I think when people start out with any kind of weight goals, they have unrealistic routine in their head. Right. So I'm gonna work out 5 times a week. I'm gonna work out 3 times a week, when it's not doable or sustainable. And so I think if you're gonna start a weight loss goal, do baby steps. Do baby steps that you know you can do and know that you're gonna do. And also, the best thing to do is work out with a partner. Find somebody who is like, I need somebody to hold me accountable. I'll hold you accountable. Let's hold each other. Because there's days, as a professional athlete, there was days I didn't want to get up in the morning and run. I didn't want to do it. But I've had this voice in my head that's my father's since I was a kid, right? To do shit that you don't want to do, right? And so you have to develop that inner voice that tells one of your voices in there, fuck you, I'm doing this, right? And it's a fight. It's a fight. I was a running back and I hated running. Hated it. But it's a fight, and it's something that you have to do. And so when you have somebody accountable, it makes have somebody that holds you accountable, makes it a little bit easier. But it's a fight, and discipline is the consistency of doing something that you don't want to do. That is discipline, and discipline ain't easy, especially as we start to age. You get a little bit more comfortable, until you start to convince yourself that, oh, fuck it, it is what it is, right? And so discipline is reversing that and fighting that, actively fighting that. So I would say start at goals that you know you could hit, and then it does get a little bit easier once you develop a routine. It does get easier. It's still hard, but it gets easier to do once you start seeing the results. That's the hard thing, is to continue to do shit when you don't see results. And the last thing is diet. You could lose a bunch of weight eating correctly and just doing push-ups and sit-ups. Very light workout, but just cutting all the bullshit. Stop eating the bullshit. Stop drinking the bullshit. Carbonated beverages are horrible for you. Trans fat, horrible for you. It's just, what's bad for you. What's bad for you. I would argue. But if you don't, easy Google search. Stay away from that shit. Finn.
Big
Anybody
anything?
Yeah, sorry, I was watching Mitch McConnell fall up the
Yeah,
stairs.
we didn't talk about that.
What?
It's time to go, brother.
Mitch McConnell, I thought it fell down the stairs.
No, he falls up the stairs.
Oh, yeah, Mitch McConnell fell today, Arian, and has a sprained wrist and a cut on his face, apparently, and had to be wheeled out. Brother, it is time to hang up the suit. Do you have any advice?
No.
Okay. Cool.
I like that he's a shepherd, not a sheep.
Yeah, that's a funny way to describe it.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Colby from Wichita, Kansas. I just want to shout out Arian. I DM'd him on Twitter a few months back, and I asked him for some inside zone footwork for a running back. I'm an offensive coordinator here in Wichita, and he replied right away, gave me some good information on that, which was awesome. So shout out Arian. But real quick question. If you guys had to put Big T in a situation where he's not a podcaster, not a Barstool employee, and he's working somewhere else, where would you put Big T at? Right? Where would you put him at? We have a janitor at our high school that looks just like Big T. That's what I see whenever I see Big T. I see janitor. So just let me know what you guys think about it.
I do not see janitor at all. I see an equal or higher paying profession than this.
I know what I see.
What's that?
That's tough because what do I see and what do I feel you could do at a high level? Like what I see is umpire, 1,000%.
Yeah.
You love ball.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, definitely an umpire. A position I feel like you could fill. I feel like you'd be a good CPA, given the right training. You're good with numbers, not necessarily guessing stuff, but like you're good with numbers.
I'm very good
with
at
math.
guessing.
And I feel like given the right training, I can see you in a nice little button down, crunching numbers. I can see that.
I'd kill myself if I was an accountant.
No offense to the accountants that listen to this.
Yeah, no, like I respect your work. I would just, I couldn't. My plan was always to go to law school, and
Really?
then yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and then potentially become a sports agent or just
That makes sense.
a lawyer of some kind.
I see you as like a big, like a Texas high school offensive coordinator.
If I could, I would love to be a high school football coach. If you could make like
For
good
like
money doing that.
South Lake Carroll.
Well, those are really good. You can't be that kind of coach, but
But I
that's
imagine
that's like an elite.
I imagine greatness for you. Sorry.
Okay, no, I appreciate that better than janitor, I guess.
Yeah, I can see you at like South Lake Carroll or like Westlake High School or those big ass like schools in Texas, and you have like a hot smoking wife, and there's like 3 kids running around, and she's wearing like coach's wife.
All right, yeah, deal.
Off her cricket. She cricketed the shirt.
I know what that means, but why don't you tell Mackenzie?
It's like Mackenzie, it's like a machine where you can print stickers and different types of like personalized stencil type objects. But a lot
People
of
just have those in their house?
they do.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, but you can like print a sticker to put on like and then you can like monogram your water bottle. But like they'll be like, I'm here for the coach. That would be a shirt
Nice.
she'd cricket.
Nice.
And her name's Bratayley.
Never heard of any
Bratayley.
And your
names that-
children's names are like Maximus.
No, I'm not down with those.
But like just follow the vision. Like Maximus, like Wave and Cove.
Absolutely not.
For Texas?
I don't know. Or is there more Brayleys and Haleys in
Gunther.
there too?
Yeah.
Gunther.
I have a friend with a child named Cove.
Maybe that's where I got it from because we were talking about that. But yeah, and like you'd have, and I don't know if they have to work at the school to be a coach as well, but you would be
Sometimes you do, sometimes you
yeah,
don't.
like you would either be a history teacher or like maybe the PE teacher.
See, if I could get a gig where I was making good money to be a football coach and also be an AP US history teacher but not have to like grade shit, that'd be ideal.
Yeah. And I'm actually like witnessing the Instagram post of your wife. Like after the state title, you're holding your kids and they're wearing like "Daddy is our favorite coach" like clothing.
This sounds like I'm more successful than I am now, so I would be down for that.
Yeah. And then But you stay in high school, you don't go to college. Colleges are calling.
Oh, really?
Colleges.
So I'm a radically successful high school football coach
with a hot wife and 3 children.
Cove waving Max.
In a state with great weather and no income tax.
God forbid I want what's best
yeah,
for you.
I'll switch right now.
Yeah. Maybe you're a janitor at the school.
Yeah,
right.
That's why you're the
right.
You're a janitor and the offensive line coach. But like it's not, I won't say it's not Ohio State calling. It's like tiny D3, and you say, I'm making more of an impact here coaching the next Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, you don't make that mistake. George Quarles learned that the hard way.
Exactly, and I definitely know what you mean by that.
He was the head coach of Maryville High School in Knoxville. They won like 12 straight titles in a row, and then he went to be, I believe, the OC at Furman, and I think his career has not gone well after that.
I hate to see it.
But that's what I see for you.
Or like a Braves beat reporter or something.
I would do that.
Yeah, I could see that.
How's it going, Macrodosing family? My name is Isaac. I'm calling in from Virginia. I had a question for Arian Foster, but the rest are free to answer as well. Arian, you were a guy that was a dedicated celebration person, so you did the same celebration anytime you scored a touchdown. And I was wondering what your opinions are on the state of celebrations across the league or just in sports in general. Obviously, there's guys that do the dedicated celebration like Justin Jefferson, and there's also guys like Cameron Bynum from the Vikings that have extremely choreographed celebrations. But in my opinion, his are more fair because he's a defensive player, and it's not very often that they get a chance to celebrate things like that. So I was wondering what your opinions are. Also, there's so many first down celebrations now, and players just celebrate anything. So I was wondering what your opinions are as someone who had a very iconic celebration that you did routinely whenever you scored a touchdown. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
No doubt. Solid question. I think that some celebrations can be corny to me. The extravagant ones where a bunch of people are involved. I mean, that's hit. I think that's all of them are hit or miss, but like that can be good, but it's got to be executed in a cool way. Most of them just whack to me. But it's all preference. It's all style. Like, you know, man, I'm gonna like something somebody else don't like. I don't really. I'm not too like keen on them. Like I feel like you have to have a certain kind of style to do that shit. Like mine wasn't like a celebration. It was more of like an ode. Like I really played the game like appreciative, and that it was more like that. And so, like I said, I'm not a super fan of celebrations. Like I don't look for them. Most of them are whack to me. But I think it can be extremely. It can add a lot of energy to a squad. Even those team ones that I don't like sometimes, like I could give people energy, and you could ride that momentum. And so, like I'm all for them. I don't really look for them. It's not like something I like necessarily enjoy. But I mean, I'm very neutral. Like it's just like do it or don't. It's not really a thing. Every now and then you get a cool one that's a cool little trend or whatever. Like the one where everybody was standing on their head, ass, horrible. But again, it got the people going. So like whatever floats your boat. I just didn't like it.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, and I'm also surprised that your celebration was so. I feel like it's the opposite of your personality, and like.
No, you don't.
So what? Not your personality necessarily, but it's buttoned up. You do your thing, hand the ball to the referee. I feel like that's very old school, as opposed to you've said like let guys do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And like. No flags for anything. Like you should be able to pretend pull a gun out and shoot somebody.
Do you think?
But then but yours was very keep it moving.
But you know me, like so you know like when have I ever been like boisterous, flamboyant?
No, I know, but I'm just saying like you're. I feel like it's the opposite of your opinion.
It's opposite of my opinion, not opposite of my personality. My opinion is let guys be. Do your thing. I think we are in an entertainment industry. Let guys entertain. That would do like Chad Ochocinco. Fucking, you looked forward to him scoring because it was something new, it was something different every single time, right? But like Barry Sanders didn't do anything. Handed the ball to rep. I like both things. I like the personality of the player. Some dudes I think try to do shit that's out of their personality because they scored. Some dudes fits right in with their personality. I'm like I said, I'm not really like I'm indifferent about people doing it. I think you should be able to express yourself. My shit, like I said, my shit was more of an ode. Like it was I was very appreciative. I have very humble beginnings. I love that I got an opportunity to live out my dream, and it was an ode to that. And I feel like it was just like that's kind of how I am more chill. I'm more laid back. I'm not like a rah-rah kind of dude. So it fit my personality, but I'm not. It's nothing I look for really. But if it's there and it's dope, that's what's up.
So do you like guys like Justin Jefferson doing the gritty and stuff, or no?
It's not like I don't look at the dance and be like, oh, that's cool, I want to do it. I see it. I see the young kids catching on, and I was like, that's dope. It helps bring everybody to the game. Puts eyes on the game. Like women get involved more. You know what I'm saying? Like when something like that catches on, which I think is an addition to the game. Do I personally like the dance? No, I think the dance is whack. But that got nothing to do with me. I enjoy him expressing himself. I enjoy him creating a moment in time. That's dope. You know, and that would all be attributed to him. That's super dope, right? The dance itself, I'm not gonna be doing that shit. But dope. Get busy, youngin.
So you're a celebration libertarian. Just keep the government out.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
I'm full anarchist when it comes to that. Bring the whole team on the field, dance, that'd be lit. You know, do a little duo with your coach. That's fire. Do whatever you want to do. Jump in the stands. I don't give a shit. Do your thing. I don't care.
I feel like the NFL, for the most part, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, like even college now. It used to be in college where you couldn't do anything.
College, they're still more stringent, but
yeah, they're more, but they're like. So when I was in college, I remember we had one where we would just do like a handshake. Like, and so you just like, it was like, you know, like a firm business handshake. It was just like a funny little thing that we all do. And like, after like 2 or 3, the ref would like, I mean, once this nigga hit me, like, hey, that's enough. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I used to hate that shit. Like, you niggas so weird about this shit. I just don't, there's no benefit to not letting kids celebrate.
What's the craziest thing you ever said to a ref?
I didn't never really talk to refs like that.
Really?
I never understood talking to refs. That was never my thing.
Unless you were asking for their hat.
Yeah, but I wasn't even in the game then. But I always had this mindset though. There's nothing I'm going to say to this ref that's going to have him change his mind. There's nothing I'm going to say. He's not going to pick up his fact. You know what, though? You're right. Yeah.
But you never got super pissed and cussed him out or anything?
Nah, man. I grew up. My dad was like, what's he going to do? Change his mind? I can't. There's nothing. I'm not going to have a philosophical argument with this thing about. Nah. I remember one time I got super hyped. We were playing Baltimore on Monday night. I caught this crossing route, made Ed Reed miss. Shout out to the homie, Hall of Famer, made him miss. And it was in a 2-minute warning, so I had to get out of bounds. So it was like a really dope move that I did to get him to miss. I got Ed Reed miss, and some dude took out my legs, and I jumped and I dove for the sidelines, and I was looking at the ref like I stopped the clock, right? And he stopped the clock, and I was so hyped, and I slapped him on the ass. I remember doing that. That was dangerous because he could have threw a flag on, but I was like, it was in a moment like it was a very like big game. But
did you get any personal fouls?
I never got a personal foul. Well,
really?
No.
Good job.
Yeah, man. I don't talk. Well, I did talk a lot of shit, but it was always like I said. I'll meet you with the energy you meet me. So if you talking shit to me in a way that I feel like is disrespectful, I'll get disrespectful back. If you like, you know, keep it in the bounds of the game, I'll keep it in the bounds of the game. Like I had a couple tussles with a dude where he was like, "Yo, we're gonna meet you after the game." I was like, "Yeah, I'll give you my number and we can do that." I got there one time, but they never wanted to meet up. But I will always give you the energy you give me. Let's go rule to live by.
Hey, Macro Crew. This is Tyler from Chicago. I'm wondering, each of you, who is your hero? Growing up, I didn't really know if I ever had a hero. I kind of thought athletes, but done some reflecting and think it's my brother based on my actions, like kind of following him. Anyway, do you have someone, whether it's an athlete, family member, who was your hero growing up or hero now? Thanks. Stay handsome.
Man, this one's gonna be depressing. Maybe one of y'all take it before I bring down the.
Oh, okay. Like personally, my grandpa and my uncle, and then like as a kid, an athlete was Chipper Jones. Like Chipper Jones was still my favorite athlete. I actually just recently, look at this. Chipper Jones rookie auto, graded 9. Just picked that up. I'm starting to get into cards a little bit.
Okay. Nice. I don't know what does graded 9 mean?
So this card, whoever had it before me sent it to PSA and they grade it on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you have a 10, that's like the best card you can get. And this one's a 9, which is very good. The grading system is weird at like, it's like the centering of the card and how good the autograph is and stuff like that. But so this is a good card to have.
I'm happy as fuck for you, man. 9 is a high grade.
Yeah, it is.
Heroes. I never had a hero growing up. I think sports figures I was like super fans, I guess. Yeah. I had like Barry Sanders I was a super fan of him. Kobe, was a big fan of him. Michael Jordan. But like growing up, I just never like I saw so much like bullshit growing up that like I saw the flaws in adults very young. And so I had to grow up very fast. And so I never was like, yo, I want to aspire to be. Well, it was always I saw humanity very young, and it was just eye opening. And so I never really held anybody in that high regard because I always felt like if you hold somebody in a high regard, they're gonna let you down eventually. And so yeah, it started to be depressing. But that hero thing has always been a thing because I've always wanted one. I would love to have a hero that I just look up, but at a young age, I was like, all these motherfuckers suck. So
I also think I appreciate things much more as an adult than I did as a kid. Like I see, like my grandpa has died, but I see things now that he did with me as a kid, and I appreciate them much more than I did at the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, little things like the tidbits they share with you, stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. Huggy people, man. Huggy people.
Hey, Macrodosing, it's Steven from Boston. Calling in with a question to Big LA and Arian. Arian, I know you're not too happy about the trade with Luka, but wondering from your time of playing, what was the biggest trade, signing, retirement that impacted you the most during your time? And then Big T, just general, who was your favorite trade, signing, or retirement that really surprised you? Not really favorite, but you know what I mean. Thanks, guys.
I assume he means not. I don't know. Think he's talking about when I was playing.
I think he could have been.
Yeah, I think
I
just
don't know.
in
I'll just do
general,
both.
maybe.
Houston never really signed any big free agents. I think the biggest one we had was Jonathan Joseph, who was he was an All-Pro corner from Cincinnati, and so that was like the biggest one that I guess impacted me in my playing days. But other than that, we didn't really go after free agents like that. Their motto was always built through the draft, and they did that. They drafted I don't know how many Pro Bowlers when I was there. It was a bunch, but let them all go. As far as like my fandom, I absolutely cried when Barry Sanders retired. I was like, I don't know, 11, something like that when he retired. It was just out of the blue. Cats didn't retire at 30 years old. And he was just my favorite athlete. I just cried because I just loved watching Barry Sanders. He was my dog, man. And got to meet him. That was dope. But yeah, I was really upset when he retired.
So I guess the question was like most shocking or like I remember when the Braves traded Craig Kimbrell the day before opening day in 2014. I believe it was going into 14, and that was the first year that we started to be like bad for a little while before we got good again with this current core. So that sucked. I don't really remember. I remember watching JD Drew on the Braves. The Braves. I remember watching JD Drew on the Braves, who was infamously the Braves got him in exchange for Adam Wainwright, which was a very shitty trade. But I don't remember that trade happening because I was a little kid. Other than that, like Freddie Freeman leaving sucked, but everyone knew that was going to happen. So
That's
yeah,
crazy. I don't know any of those dudes you just said. That's crazy.
You should know Freddie Freeman. He's still killing it.
I do not know Freddie Freeman.
Have we seen? I guess he was gone by the time we started going to baseball games together.
Who's the most famous dude in baseball right now? Like who's like
Shohei Ohtani?
Who?
Shohei Ohtani. He's unbelievable.
I could walk by him at a store and have no clue. Like zero.
Well, see, that's always been so. Before him, it was Mike Trout for a while. Who the knock on him was always people would say nobody has any. You could walk by him in New York City and nobody would know.
Or Aaron Judge, I feel like is a really big one too, and he's hard to miss.
Yeah,
I could probably if he was in his I could see him. But I don't know. I got facial features. Like if he was walking around his uniform, you know what I mean? Maybe.
Well, he's also like 6'7".
Yeah, he's
we
huge.
sat a couple rows away from him at a Rangers game one time. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
But yeah, Shohei Ohtani is the number one guy in baseball right now. Maybe the best to ever do it.
The best baseball player to ever play.
In contention, yeah. Go watch.
Over
I feel
Babe
like
Ruth?
I think so. He pitches and hits, which Babe Ruth did. I think if you went and watched Shohei Ohtani highlights, you would feel the same as you did when you watched Connor McDavid.
I don't know. That was a special moment.
Shohei Ohtani is a monster.
I'm gonna take your word for it. But and who's he play for?
Dodgers.
Okay.
Everyone plays for the fucking Dodgers now.
It's so annoying.
Damn. A lot of haterade over there. It's all good.
Well,
Yes.
they
Yes.
sign everyone, but they also cheat and they don't pay them till 2045 so that they can just have this unbelievable roster, and it costs like what a normal roster would cost. It's bullshit. It should be banned.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know
they
enough about
signed
the system.
Shohei to a $700 million deal, and they're only paying him like $15 million a year right now.
I thought it was only 2.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, like last year, he made nothing.
Yeah.
But he that's guaranteed, right? He gonna get all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fire. On his part. That's dope.
Yeah, great. It's great.
Yep.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
What's the,
Dodgers are just going to win the World Series the next 20 years.
Yeah. Go to the next one.
How we doing, everybody? Always great to call the fam. First time, long time. Shout out to Arian, Big T, Mad Dog, Mackenzie, and PFT. I was listening to the newest episode with Chief. Shout out to him as well. I'm a proud member of the Dog Walk podcast as well. But you guys are doing the football number situation, which was very entertaining. My wife thought so as well. But I thought of another game, the Hall of Very Good game. The pretty much listing players by position, that you believe are amazing, but will not make it to the Hall of Fame. Running backs, Bo Jackson, I would probably say, unfortunately, Arian Foster. I don't know. I can think of a number of players that should be in the Hall of Fame, but will not. Shout out Mike Vick. I'd love to hear your takes. Stay gorgeous. Stay beautiful. Can't wait to hear it on the pod. Thank you, fam.
I like this question.
It's a good question.
I also thought it was an opportunity for Big T to name dudes.
Yeah, so are we sticking to football?
Well, let's do football first, and then we can.
Okay.
Baseball, I have no fucking clue. But
I feel like baseball's the best sport to do that for because the Hall of Fame is like. I feel like the Hall of Fame in baseball matters the most of any sport.
I couldn't tell you yes or no.
Well, I think it's the most individual game.
It's the most individual game?
Like the sport where individual statistics matter the most. Maybe basketball, but I think I like baseball.
You're talking about team sport.
Correct. Yeah.
I was like, because there's individual sports.
No, okay, obviously.
I got you. All right, let's just do football first. Running back off rips, because, a little bias we started there. Absolutely, Ricky Waters should be in that bitch. I think from my era, Jamal Charles probably ain't going to make it, but he's Hall of Fame talent. I think.
Okay, see, now I have are we doing guys that we think should be in the Hall of Fame? Or he said Hall of Very Good. Are we doing guys who we think are like just on the cusp but shouldn't be in? That's what I thought he was saying.
I thought he said guys that are not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
My understanding is you're naming the guys that you think like shouldn't be in but are right on the verge.
I don't even understand that. Shouldn't be on the.
Can you play the voicemail again? He said Hall of Very Good, which is like guys who aren't in or like you wouldn't think should be.
Like they were really good, but they aren't going to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
like, that's what he was saying. Yeah,
he said you.
Yeah.
So like people who had a really good run but aren't Hall of Fame worthy.
I disagree with him totally then.
Right, you're saying guys that you think should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame talent, and you're good, but you don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Those are two totally different things.
I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, well then fuck that guy. Absolutely.
Which is why when he said you, I was like, no, but I think he's saying guys that you think were awesome, but that you acknowledge
aren't going to be
in the Hall of Fame. Like I would say Roddy White. Like Roddy White was really good and like should probably have his number retired by the Falcons, but I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, so who I don't think should be in the Hall of Fame.
But that you think really were awesome.
Okay. I would say that's tough.
I've got a running back for you.
Who?
Warwick Dunn.
He's absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. What?
You think?
He has 10,000 plus yards. Absolutely. Fred Jackson? I'm sorry, Fred Taylor, excuse me. Fred Taylor, he should be in the Hall of Fame. But this is why the Hall of Fame just doesn't mean anything to me because the motherfuckers voting on it don't know football like that. Or even if they do, they're wrong. Okay, but that's what we do. But absolutely, look at Warwick Dunn's stats, dog.
I am right now. So
he was a killer.
You actually went to more Pro Bowls than Warwick Dunn. He only went to 3. I mean, there's a lot of.
He said actually.
No, I was
a killer, dog.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. You said this guy should be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Like he only went to 3 Pro Bowls. I'm seeing a lot of sub 1,000-yard seasons on here.
He was a killer. I mean, a lot of his yards did come from. I mean, I don't think he was.
I think he was very good.
Like, you never considered him the best at his position during his time, but I think that longevity, especially for his size, absolutely, dog. But that's what I said. What is the criteria to make the Hall of Fame?
I actually think what you just said is a great barometer for it. I think at some point you need to have been the best at your position.
That was actually Bill Parcells, and I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. I mean, it would be, but even that gets arbitrary, right? The best.
In at least in the very short list conversation.
Yeah. For instance, I would say like top 3. If in your era, if you're like top 3, top 4, yeah, why not? Like what is the Hall of Fame other than like the best players to play?
Yeah, I agree. Like I don't think you should be in the Hall of Fame if you were never, a top 2 or 3 guy at your position.
I would agree with that. I'm trying to think of guys like that. Oh, he was also on, what was it? Is it Jimmy Smith? He was a wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to say it's Jimmy Smith.
I'm not familiar. Let me.
Fucking monster, but just never had was was never really considered the best.
92 to 2005.
Yeah. That he was a monster, bro.
12,000 yards, 67 touchdowns.
Loved his game. Like, how is he not? You know what I'm saying? 12,000 is crazy. What's another one? I'm trying to think of like a quarterback. Quarterback usually get overhyped though, so there's probably some people in the Hall of Fame that don't need to be. What about Mark Brunell? Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No.
I'm naming all these old Jacksonville Jaguar players.
David Garrard.
He had a good Mark Brunell had a good career, man.
3-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
32,000 yards, 184 touchdowns, 108 picks. It's not Hall of Fame.
I thought we weren't doing Hall of Fame. We were doing good.
Yes,
but not...
yeah. Well, you keep going in and out though. You keep, like you said, Jimmy Smith should be in the Hall of Fame.
No, I didn't say he should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know that he should or shouldn't. I'm not here to make that call, but he was a great player. Like, I think he had.
That's what you're naming. Really good players.
Okay. David Boston, receiver for the Cardinals. Is Keenan Allen? I don't know that he's Hall of Fame, but he's
had a
amazing.
good career.
Yeah. Mike Evans, he probably will make it because he had 10,000-yard seasons, but I don't think he was ever considered the best at his position.
He's been in the running for best wide receiver 5 or 6 years ago.
I don't know that, but all right, I'll take your word for it.
Like once Calvin Johnson retired, who were the best?
I would have to dig in to my memory.
So let's say like 2016.
I mean, maybe because I stopped watching football for like 2 years. So 17, 18, I don't really know what happened. So that could be the case. I just don't remember Mike Evans being like, yo, he's the best in the league. I always knew Mike Evans to be like a very solid, very good receiver.
Wow. So Mike Evans was 4th in the league in receiving in 2016. Do you know who led the league? I'll tell you 3rd and 2nd. 3rd was Odell Beckham. 2nd was Julio Jones.
2016?
Mm-hmm.
What division?
I think that gives it away. AFC.
Okay.
I think the division would give it away.
Is it Hop?
No, but you're closer.
Oh man.
It's in the AFC South.
T.Y. Hilton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. T.Y. Hilton.
1,400 yards.
Yeah. He was a monster too.
Had a nice run.
Yeah, he was a monster, man. That was a good one that you said for Atlanta. What was his
Roddy
name?
White?
Yeah, Roddy White. Great one.
Outstanding player.
Mm-hmm. Algie Crumpler?
I was thinking Algie Crumpler a second ago, too.
Yeah. Solid tight end. Very solid. Dallas Clark.
Yeah.
Dallas Clark. Very solid player.
Michael Turner had a couple really nice years.
Yeah. Absolutely. One's before your time, Natron Means. He was running back for the Chargers. I'm trying to think of quarterbacks because
that you think are really good but shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
That probably didn't have a Hall of Fame career. I hate the wording of that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. It's like I'm the arbiter. I'm
right
not here to get it, but it's just like that probably won't make it.
Like currently, so you're talking like maybe Jared Goff,
Cam Newton. Cam Newton,
yeah,
probably won't make the Hall of Fame. I don't know that he won't. But I think he's a Hall of Fame talent. I just don't know that he's done enough to convince the committee. I think Mike Vick makes it eventually.
His numbers aren't like crazy though.
But he
was like
he did something that no other
transformational figure. Yes.
Yeah, I think if you've done something that nobody else has done, which is okay, Chris Johnson. I don't know that Chris Johnson makes the Hall of Fame, but he absolutely should. 1,000%. I think if you've rushed for 2,000 yards, you make the Hall of Fame. He has the highest total scrimmage yards in NFL history. He went for like 2,500.
It was like 2,500, yeah.
And to me, that's MVP shit, but they gave it to Peyton that year.
Speaking of guys who rush for 2,000 yards, there's a new OJ documentary on Netflix, and it's outstanding.
I saw the first episode. I watched it.
I'll watch.
There's so much I forgot.
They could make a new one every year for the rest of time, and I will watch each one.
OJ's a funny dude, man. God. I DM'd him before he died.
2014.
Yeah. We almost got him on the podcast. It was close.
That would have been... as I was watching the OJ thing, I was like getting angry that I wasn't alive for the OJ trial because it would have been my favorite thing ever.
It was captivating.
Like, were you watching that every day?
No, I was young when it was happening. I was like 10, 11, something like that. So I knew what was going on, but the one thing that was probably, even in the documentary highlights it, right? The racial divide was and the racial elements of it was huge, right? So like when they're picking the jury, for example, right? Like they had an extreme, like they want black women were good. Like you want black women. When that they had a lawyer on on the prosecution that I guess like had heart issues or something, had chest pains. And they had a black lawyer that they put in place. Johnny Cochran and that team was like, they just putting a black lawyer on there because we have all these black jurors that we got okayed. And it was just like a big, huge deal. And I remember vividly, like if you look at old footage of like when they announced the verdict, look at like white crowds versus black crowds.
They've got it in there.
It was just like, I remember us being happy. I remember us and my family, we was happy as shit. And it wasn't necessarily because that trial had so much more to do with the race relations in LA at the time. Like they had just had the Watts riots. They had just had the Rodney King thing, and they felt like the police got off. And the reason why they got off was because and the reason why they got so many black jurors on the OJ trial was because that prosecutor was able to get those cops tried in a county where there wasn't a lot of black folks. And so it was like almost all white jury that chose not to convict the cops who were on tape beating the shit out of him. And so that's what caused the riots. They was like, yo, the police are getting away with all of this. And so that's what I remember vividly about the OJ case growing up, was just the race relations was just like, it was very intense and heightened. That's why like when I hear people today, like, I remember growing up in race relations have never been this bad. I'm like, what fucking place did you grow up in? It's always been a thing.
Speaking of which, Mark Furman agreeing to like still talk about that shit is crazy. Like, why is he agreeing to go on a documentary where he knows they're just going to talk about like him doing crazy shit?
Yeah,
like,
it's like his way of like trying to justify it. He's trying to justify some of his actions.
Yeah, I guess.
It's bad shit. It's bad shit. But I mean, I don't know, man. I felt really bad watching it from Rob Goldman's sister. Rob Goldman's sister really pulled at my heartstrings. That was tough to watch. Because she was like advocating for like, yo, we have to, as victims, as families, victims, like we have to continue to do this. I don't want to be here, but like we have to continue to do this, speaking out for victims. And she made an interesting point to me too, which was when usually in murder cases, you're the aggressor with the investigators attempting to get more information. Like, are y'all moving this along? What do you have? What do you have? She's like, in our case, it was like, there's too much information. It was an overload. And there was always new theories. There was always new things that kept coming about. She was like, it was just an overload and it was hard to take, which I couldn't imagine. That's tough. And also, there's no evidence of this, but they had to be fucking, right? Nicole and Rob, they had to be fucking, right?
Oh, I think that was, I never thought that was in question.
Yeah, no, if you look at it, like Google, it's like, were they dating? It says no, they had gone on coffee dates, but the investigators said that they were just friends. But I don't
I didn't even think that was ever in doubt.
Google it. Look it up. Say,
well, they for sure were.
What I'm saying, if you Google, were Nicole Brown and Rob Goldman intimate? And the consensus is no.
Oh yeah, I was unaware that was the case, but then yes, they were.
Yeah.
Like he was at her house.
The story was, and they did find those glasses, was she left those glasses at, like, some sunglasses at a, I don't know where it was, maybe like a get together coffee, something like that, where there was a bunch of friends there, and he was there to return them to her, and there wasn't a bloody envelope with glasses in them. So that's the it's the story they're sticking to. I don't know. I'm skeptical though. Anywho, that was the last voicemail. Next week, Eric should be back. Coming up in the pipeline of Macrodosing is the 200th episode, Maddie, if I'm correct. 200th episode of the main episodes. And then our 4-year anniversary is going to be on the same day, and I will be in Chicago for that. So we're going to do some fun stuff for that. We're appreciative. 4 years on a podcast in today's world is a crazy run. So we're highly appreciative of all the Macrodoses out there, man. Much love. Continue to be the good human beings that you are, man. We love you. Appreciate you. Anything else other than that, man? We'll catch y'all next week.